Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome to Fun Fold Friday. So this is my chance to show you a fun fold that I am encouraging you to recreate as well. So there'll be a post over in the community group. You can post your version of the card you see today and be entered to win prizes. So it's always fun for me to get to send out happy mail, and this just gives me another reason to do so. All right, so we're all getting in here today. How is everybody on this Friday morning? Well, I suppose it could be afternoon for somebody or evening if you're watching this on the replay. So how are you? I mean, really, how are you? Let me know here. So we have started a new catalog this week with the fall mini catalog, and so I know people are getting excited about making Christmas cards, and maybe you do Halloween, fall, Thanksgiving, I mean all the things. And even if you don't do any of the holidays, there are still a lot of great products in the new catalog. So I'm going to be using one of those suites today. Now I know that there were some items that quickly went 2 days ago, but the good news, almost all of them will be back in stock in the next couple of weeks. So nearly everything that I'm showing you today, if it is not available now, will be available in the next couple of weeks. So that is very exciting to see. So, all right. So good morning to those of you who are coming in here today. So we are going to be obviously making a fun fold because that's what this is about. So I'm going to show you a card using the Autumn Leaves bundle. You know, this is the bundle that we are featuring in the upcoming card play online retreat. I do still have some kits left for that retreat, so definitely be sure to sign up quickly because we only have a limited supply. Because the ribbon combo pack, let's see, this one right here, this ribbon combo pack with the natural ribbon and the copper ribbon very quickly went out of stock and will not be restocked until after our retreat. So that means we only have a limited supply of kits. So that's coming up on September 22nd and 23rd is that one. So here's the Autumn Leaves bundle. And it has all of these lovely dies, some label dies that we're going to use here today, and just some really fun sentiments. And then there is also, I'm not using this today, but I just wanted you to see that there is a embossing folder as well with this suite. So just wanted to show that as well. Jean says, coffee cup in hand. Without coffee, nothing will happen today. I totally get it. I forgot my coffee this morning, so I feel like that could make this video a little more interesting. We'll just see. Okay, so that is the bundle we're using here today. And then, let's see here. I'll be using Pretty Peacock and... let's see, we got more Pretty Peacock, Very Vanilla, Mossy Meadow, and then I will be using some of this autumn, what is this called? All About Autumn paper. Now this comes back in stock next week, and I'm super excited to get some more of it. Now here's the thing. When I first looked at these sides of the papers, let me show you a few more, because I want you to see what I mean by this. I'll just be real honest with you guys. It wasn't really my thing. So I don't make a lot of fall cards. And so it just wasn't quite speaking to me. But there are some really beautiful scenes, scenery like type paper like this. So let's see here. We've got these. So a lot of very autumn, I mean very fall colors. You know, kind of muted, that sort of thing. So yeah, so I'm looking at these and I'm thinking, oh, I just don't know. Guys, game changer here. All of these sheets right here, you have to turn them over. Because even if you are not a fall person, the foiling on these, it is like copper foil, and they are so shimmery, and they don't have to be for fall at all. So you have all of these beautiful copper designs on the back. And so, yeah, all sorts of different ones. So I'm just showing you a few of them. And so today I'm actually going to make a card only using the foil backside. Yes, Brenda, both sides are beautiful. Absolutely. So the three I'm using today are these three on the front, but we won't even be seeing the front when I make them. So you have these beautiful old books, looks like a leather couch, and then some pumpkins. But when we turn them over, we have these patterns right here. And this is what I'm going to be combining into a card. Yeah, Gail says this reminds you of the one horse open sleigh paper. Absolutely. I love it when we get the paper that has like the scenes on them, where you kind of don't want to cut too much of it off because you just want to feature the whole kit and caboodle. Whatever that means. Okay, so not last night, but the night before, I kept waking up in the night, and this doesn't happen super often or anything, but every time I woke up, I think it was 3, 4, 5 times, I had the same card idea in my head. I don't know if I saw this somewhere. I have no idea. But what I do know is that in the middle of the night, I am like planning out this card and trying to think through measurements and what product could I use. And so we're going to attempt this card today and see what we can do. So this one is, again, we're using all of these products right here. So it says, I'm thankful. And then as you open it, it says, I'm thankful for all you do today and every day. So I just thought this would be fun to make. Like that. Voila. So yeah, this is what we're going to do today. Okay, so we're going to start with our pretty peacock paper here. And I am going to cut this one. Oh, I need my trimmer. So here's the deal. I am going to throw a lot of measurements at you. They will be posted. They're typically on my blog and also on my YouTube channel. You can write them down. You can rewatch this, slow it down, pause it. But there are a lot of measurements because there's a lot of pieces to this card. So I'll just show that on screen real quick. Oops, right there. So then when you come back and watch the replay, you can freeze frame what I just showed you. And you can also get the measurements that way. Because I would love to see your version of this card using whatever products you have available. So we're going to start with Pretty Peacock. And this one is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So just 1/4 of a sheet of paper here. We'll just start building our layers. Then we're going to need Mossy Meadow. And I've got a little smudge there, but that's okay. It'll get covered up. This, actually, you know what? Let's do our layers in order. So on top of here, we need our Designer Series paper. So I'm going to use this one. So we've got 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And now we're going to do 4 by 5 1/4. So we're just working our way down with every piece is 1/4 of an inch smaller. The challenge is sometimes I can't cut and talk at the same time. So we'll see how this goes. So then I'm just going to keep building my layers right here. So now my Mossy Meadow will be 3 3/4 by 5. So 3 3/4 by 5. And then the Designer Series paper for that one is going to be 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Okay, so 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And then we're going to go back to Pretty Peacock. And
I didn't get that.
Oh, Siri's listening to us. She must want to craft too. Okay, so the pretty peacock will be 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So let's see here, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. There we go. And then one last DSP. We actually need 2 of these. So this one is going to be 3 by 4 1/4. So we're going to do 3 by 4 1/4. Oops. So we'll just cut this in half at 3 because we need 2 of these. Okay. And then last but not least, we need, oh, I'm sorry, there's actually 2 more. So we'll start with our Very Vanilla. And our Very Vanilla insert is going to be 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. So let's see here, 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. There we go. All right. Now I can say last but not least is going to be our strip of Mossy Meadow. And this one is going to be 1 1/2 by 8 1/2. Okay. Now while I have this strip, I'm going to go ahead and do the scoring. Let's move all these extra pieces out of the way. So on my 8 1/2 inch strip right here, we are going to first score it in half. So we're going to score it at 4 1/4. And then each of these little ends, now I've got it scored in half, and now I'm going to score each of these in half. So what that means is I'm going to go to 2 1/8, and then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do 2 1/8 again. So you now have 4 equal segments on your strip, okay? So if let me move this out of the way. So as I kind of fold along my score lines here, I'm just going to fold randomly. The direction of my fold doesn't matter yet, so it's mostly just getting those creases down and also making sure that my folds are lining up with each other. Oh, here, we'll just do that one. All right. So just kind of breaking the fibers in the paper so we have this nice strip right here. We'll worry about which way it needs to fold as we're putting our card together. Okay? All right, so we are going to start with the bottom of our card. And I'm going to start here, and I need to put the first segment of this, I'm going to tape it underneath here. It's going to fold across the front of my card. So this is where I'm heading. Let me show you this. I'm going to be putting the Designer Series paper on the pretty peacock, and I'm going to have this all the way across my card. Okay? That's where we're heading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put tape on that first segment of my strip. So I can take this, and I'm going to center it here on the front of my Designer Series paper. I'm just going to fold this up just so that it's easier to hold. I'm going to center it top and bottom, and I'm just folding that piece that had the tape on the back, okay? So like that. So now it is taped on the back of my Designer Series paper, which is going to go here. You see that? So now I can take this whole thing and we will put that right here. Okay, so I'll move that out of the way so I can smooth this down. So we've got our first strip, okay? Now, we always want our card to be opening this direction, okay? So we're always working that direction. So when you think about where to put your next piece, let me put these 2 layers together. So we're putting the Mossy Meadow with the It's a pretty peacock and mossy meadow pattern. There's actually mossy meadow and copper foiling in this design. So we'll put those together. And of course, I want this to be able to open this direction, okay? In the end, it's going to be right here. So I want to try to help you visualize when you're trying to put together a new fun fold like this, or any card, you want to think about how you want it to open. So we want it to open this direction, okay? So what that means is I have to fold this over and stick it right here so that I have a new flap to tape on. See that? Because that way, once I've adhered these, it will open this direction, like that. So I'm always trying to visualize on a fun fold like this. I want to think through to the next step, because that's going to help ensure that I put things where they're supposed to be. And I just put that tape too far down, so I gotta move that over a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now I can center this on my pretty peacock, just like that. Okay, so I'm always testing as I go, so I can still open it the way that I want it to be. Okay, so now we have one more flap to do right here. So we are going to take our pretty peacock and we're going to be centering it here on this piece. Now be mindful here of how much of the flap still shows. So we don't want to end up with tape here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my finger right here, move this out of the way, and now I kind of know how far to put tape on my flap. Okay? So once again, I'll come back here and I will center my pretty peacock, because we're just building up our layers. You can see how they're each 1/4 of an inch difference. So again, I'll test it and I can open my card and then bring it out this way. Okay. So to finish the inside right here on this one, we need to have a piece of designer series paper, because I wanted to cover up this connection point right here. I just thought it would look a little bit more polished if I added a piece of designer series paper there, which then led to how I did the sentiments that we'll get to in a minute. Okay, so then on the front of our card, we have a second piece, same size as the one we just taped down. And we can put that on the front of our card. Now at this point, if you weren't sure what kind of occasion you wanted to use this card for, you could leave it at this point, and wait until you know what you want to use it for. But here is our card. So you could mix and match cardstock colors. This could be all cardstock. It wouldn't have to be any designer series paper. You could do like a rainbow of designer series paper here. You know, maybe you really love all of the colors in the Brights collection, and so you end up doing, like, this would be Berry Burst, Azure Afternoon, Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, Lemon Lime Twist, Daffodil, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could build, like, a rainbow of colors and not even use designer series paper. But this is, I am so in love with this copper foiled paper. I just had to use it. So let's set this aside for a minute. We're going to take our basic, this is not basic white. This is very vanilla. And then I have cut 3 labels from our dies. So these come from right here, this label right here. So it is a stitched label. I'll pull that up close for you to see the details on that. There's a couple of different sizes here, and I've just chosen the size that fits the sentiments that I'm going to be using. And I needed 3 of them. And then, of course, I also need my insert. So I'm going to use Pretty Peacock ink. And I've got my stamps blocked here. So this one said, you know what, let's start from the beginning. Let's start with I'm thankful, sorry. So 2 of our pieces here are going to say I'm thankful. Oops, didn't quite get that fully inked. There we go. So 2 of these will say, I'm thankful, because I'm just like super doubly thankful for this person. So I'm thankful for all you do. Put that here. Oops. Today and every day. So these really go together nicely. There we go. Okay, so I'm thankful for all you do today and every day. So we'll take these. We'll start with our very vanilla. And we'll put that here, centered here on this piece. Now I have chosen this very vanilla is the same size as this designer series paper, okay? Because what I know is then when I go to close this, that very vanilla is definitely hidden behind the mossy meadow. So that was how, as I was trying to think about, okay, how do I put in an insert? Because I still wanted to use this designer series paper and not have my vanilla be that full size. I wanted to hide the vanilla behind this mossy meadow layer. So I just went with this DSP size right here. So that's just giving you a little insight, like when I am trying to design a card, this is some of the thinking that goes into it so that I can help you to be able to do the same. So that's how we hide that in there. Okay, so then we're going to take 2 of these and we're going to tape them on their panels. Okay, so we'll start with I'm thankful for all you do, and then today and every day. So then I'll close the card. We'll take some dimensionals here. Now I'm going to put some extra here, one, because I love dimensionals, but also, legitimately, I need some extra dimensionals because of the ribbon that we're going to add. So I am going to use the copper ribbon, and this will come in your card play kit if you're getting a kit from us, so you'll have plenty of extra that you could make designs like this. I'm just going to fold a piece in half here, and you just need, when you're making this card, you just need to cut at a really awkward angle like I just did. No, just kidding. You just need to pick a coordinating piece of ribbon that matches with the paper you're using. So I'm going to put some tape here and tape that back down. So now you'll see I have extra dimensionals here because it's also going to help hold the ribbon. So 2 things, when I am taping over ribbon, or adhering, I should say, over ribbon, I want to make sure that my dimensionals are not only stuck to ribbon. I always want to make sure they're stuck to paper, because if it's just stuck to your ribbon, it can often end up being a floppy die cut. So I always try to make sure I have some dimensionals connected to paper. And so that's why having those extra dimensionals here ensures that it helps to hold down the ribbon and it holds in place. So last but not least, I'll use the speckled dots here, and I will just put 1 here in the corner, just for a little added bling. And so there we go. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all you do today and every day. And this could be a great birthday card. You wouldn't have to put sentiments on these 2 pieces. You could definitely just let the designer series paper speak for itself. So don't feel like you have to do a 3-set sentiment. You could just do a sentiment here on the outside and then a sentiment here on this panel, or leave that blank too. The options are endless. So here's our fun fold for today. Now the point of these videos is really to encourage you to make the same fold and to see what you can do by taking this layout and making it with products that you own. So I'll have a post over in the community group where you can post your version of this card. And when you do, you're entered to win prizes. I love sending out happy mail and prizes. So this is your opportunity to win a prize just for posting your version of the fun fold for today. So all right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this layout, and like I said, I seriously can't wait to see your versions of it. So whatever you're doing today, have a great day, and be sure to encourage one another and build each other up. I'll see you soon.